All right, everybody, and welcome to the 2022 season of CleanRacing.net. I am James Riles, and with me in the booth is Dan. Dan, how's it going, brother?
Good evening. Going great. How about you?
Hey, man, I'm living the dream. Excited to get started here. You know, for years I've been saying that no league should have to start at Daytona, and what do? CleanRacing.net takes us to New Hampshire.
About as far from Daytona as it gets.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a 1 mile speedway. We'll get all that information up here shortly for you. 1 mile speedway, almost like the paperclip of Martinsville, just a lot larger. As we see here, you guys can see what I'm looking at there. This is season 10. Season 9 came down to the wire with the top cars in the points, all having good runs at Michigan. Mike Van Helten did what he needed to do, but it was not enough to top even Kenny from taking the Season 9 title. So tonight we start with the new season of CleanRacing.net here at the heart of New England in New Hampshire Speedway. Right now, Josh Lilly has the fastest time of the night. Mike Van Houten is out there in the John Deere 31 machine, showing us what he can do on his second lap. He has gotten his time. Take a look at Chris Smith in the 14 machine. See what he. As we are watching Chris get in there and put down a lap, kind of take a look at what he's doing in this machine and how hard it is to really run good at New Hampshire. It's an odd track, wouldn't you say?
It really is. So compared to Daytona, obviously, a lot of brakes compared to no brakes for Daytona. Daytona has those famous super high banks in the corners where the cars can just slingshot through. New Hampshire, you're looking at almost no banking whatsoever.
Yeah, so it's got that short track kind of feel to it. Of course, it does have those big half-mile straightaways that let you build up a lot of speed and then hard on the brakes, as we see Chris Smith up there. But Joey Stiers just put down a blazing fast lap, 30.56. That's the only lap he's going to get, I think, that's going to be worth anything, but that's on the pole currently.
Phenomenal lap, clear of anyone by over a tenth, which is an eternity at a track like this.
Definitely. So, folks, this is, of course, the CleanRacing.net. We do appreciate you guys showing up for us and watching this series. As always, you can catch us. We got shows a bunch out here. We're just burning it down on board here. These guys, there we go. Nathan Rogue, kind of getting some laps in. We do take a look at the comments. We like seeing who all's in here. Go ahead and let us know which driver you're rooting for. That gives us an opportunity to give them some more screen time. Of course, we would like to thank our sponsors here at CleanRacing.net. That is going to be Ringside Report Network. So we'll talk a little bit more about them as we move on. As qualifying is just about to wrap up here. We got about 20 seconds in here, Dan. What are you thinking based on what we've seen in the stat sheet?
It's hard to say. So looking at the number 23 truck of Joey Stiers, looking at last year's, or not last year, but last season's standings, he was up there, and I would imagine that he wants to use this first race to really put a stamp on the season.
Yeah, definitely. And talking about that, as we are going to get gridded up here, look at number 2 machine. The 48 machine in number 2, I'm sorry, Josh Lilly. He's got 2 wins here at New Hampshire. One in Season 5, Race 9, and Season 7, Race 4. So this would be the three-peat for Josh if he was able to knock that out. So let's go ahead and go through the grid and get this action rolling here, as we have about 2 minutes until they get rocking. Let's take a look. Of course, up front we do have Joey Stiers, then Josh. Here we go. Josh Lilly, two-time CleanRacing.net champion. Mike Van Houten there in third. Kevin Becker in fourth. Nathan Brown starts out row 3 with Evan Kinney on his outside. Row 4, Justin Carey and Rhett Tucker. Row 5, Brian Sullivan and Nathan Rogue. Row 6, Stephen Tuck and Lane Hostler. And, of course, we got Greg Barnett in row 7 with Jeremy Moore. And John Anthony and Rye Lewis there in row 8. Row 9 is going to be Chris Smith and Jeremy Morrison. Then we got Daniel Sykes on the outside of Dustin Harrell. Then we got Jamie LaRoque and Dave Shatford there in row 11. And then rounding out the field, getting to start wherever he wants to, inside or outside, is going to be Frederick Garcia.
Yeah, excited to see how this shakes out. This is definitely one of the tracks where there's no fluke wins. Whoever takes it home tonight is going to have to drive a strong race from start to finish.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not going to put any curses on this thing right now, but New Hampshire is definitely one of those that is hard to handle. A lot of people here have issues with the braking. The trucks especially, they've got a little bit more going on where they're very front heavy. Hard to apply that power. We're going to see that on full display here as we've got one to go. Josh Stiers has the button on the bottom side whenever he wants to, and he's got a whole mess of people behind him trying to say that they can take care of business here at the historic New Hampshire Speedway. Go ahead and start us off, Dan. Pressure's on.
All right. Away they go. See the lights on the pace car about turning off. And it looks like the 23 of Joey Stiers is going to get a huge jump on the rest of the field.
Yeah, Josh Lilly sitting there back in second is able to slide down on the inside preferred lane. And we got Kevin Baker and Evan Kinney. That's the closest battle right now. Kinney and Tucker, 5th and 6th, trying to work on each other. Nathan Rogue back there. And then we're 3 wide a little bit farther back. A lot of action going to be all over the place right now. These drivers try to find the preferred line, but right now it's the 99 of Rhett Tucker trying to work past the 6 of Evan Kinney, because the more he stays on that bottom line, the more he's going to be tearing up that right front.
Same for the 6 as well this early in the race. That's not the thing you want to be doing, is racing side by side for position. You have to wonder if maybe, yeah, it looks almost like, oh, I spoke too soon. It looked almost like there was going to be a lane for the 99 to slide up into, but now he's actually going to make a pass or attempt on the truck in front of him.
Yeah, looking at the 99 of Rhett Tucker trying to get past the 85 of Kevin Becker. He is going to have his work cut out for him. It's these big lanes here. You don't want to trust that truck to stay as tight as it is for long, as Josh Lilly trying to hunt down our leader, Joey Stiers, put down the fastest lap of the race. We're going to keep an eye on that battle as well. Later on in the track, we do have Lane Holzer and the 81. I believe that's Rogue in that 91, still trying to work on the 85. Is the 85, something's happened. He's getting slowed down past Freight Train on the inside.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a business decision there. The 99 and the 6 want to go right by him. He says, have a nice day up there. I'll see you at the end.
Definitely. Here back in the back, we got Greg Barrett. Just a gaggle of Toyotas, starting with the 10 of Stephen Tuck. Greg Barnett, Rye Lewis, and Jeremy Morrison. All the Toyotas in the field, other than Mike Van Houten there in third. And 22nd, Dave Shatford. All sitting in a row. Maybe a little bit of manufacturer battle going on as we are 3 wide up front. In 8th position, Lane Holzer. I think he's going to have that one. He is. Back behind him, Justin Carey and Kevin Baker now back. As again, folks, we are live here. I do want to tell you guys, talked about them a little bit earlier, Ringside Report Network. If you are a wrestling or MMA fan, then ringsidereport.net is the place for you. Come listen to veteran broadcaster Dave Simon and his group of friends discuss the latest news in the sport. So you can turn in Thursday nights and listen to cleanracing.net driver Frederick Garcia. There he is. There in the 94 machine. I'm sure he's repping that Clean Racing Ringside Report.net paint job. Talk some MMA. So with a minimum of 4 shows a week, guys, there almost every night of the week they're out there. They're your home for WWE, AEW, and UFC discussions. So Dan, a lot of clean racing so far. Everybody pretty content with doing the right thing, not using that chrome horn yet.
It's true. They're definitely living up to the name of the league, and we're starting to see a little bit of separation between the trucks that really understand the track and the ones that are maybe struggling a bit. The 23 of Joey Styres, leading right from the start, has not let go, has not been challenged yet, but the 48 has kept that gap of Josh Lilly pretty consistent the whole time. You have to wonder if he's just saving his stuff for later on.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe saving up a little tires. I know you talked about it, about how they are living up to their name. Oh, it's Kevin Becker. Oh, that was a thorough put. Scared me. Kevin Becker has some connectivity issues there in the 85. My racing lifetime and scoring just got jacked up. As a 91, 92, look like teammates there trying to battle it out. And if they're not teammates, they got the same painter, because those are very similar looking slick metallic trucks. Take a look back at 15th, Josh Anthony and Steven Tuck. The 10 machine going to come out the victor there on the bottom side. And that's what we're going to see a lot of, folks. A lot of laps here. 11 out of 125 ticked away. Steven Tuck just showed us kind of what it was going to take. You're going to have to pick your battles. You're going to have to make sure you have enough space to go to the bottom. And that's just any of these 1 mile flat tracks. You're really going to have to choose what you want to do and when you want to push, because that right front's going to go to crap real quick. As Josh Styres still leading us up. Josh Lilly there, or sorry, Joey Styres and Josh Lilly. Josh Lilly not pretty content with where he is. He's going to make Joey go a little bit defensive line there. As actually he's coming for the pass. Going to back out of it, I think. Does not want to push too hard too early. And that's what that would have taken on the 23. Kind of just stay in the rearview mirror, don't you think, Dan? And let him do your work for you.
Definitely driving with the confidence of a multiple-time winner here, that's for sure. It looks like he's starting to push the issue a little bit more than before, but not so much that he's going to wreck his chances for later, but he's just putting his nose on the inside, and is this the one?
That's what it looks like, is he's got a different line going into this. He's kind of diamonding that turnout, hitting that apex real early and kind of turning it into 2 apexes rather than try and make that right front work as hard as you have to. As there comes the crossover. 23 is going to get to the left rear quarter panel. Nothing doing, though. He's going to have to back out of it. As cleanracing.net, they do, I mean, believe it or not, they do have a ton of, they try to live up to their name. DQ after 25 incidents. Must have an A license, an average incident per race under 5. New members must also have a minimum 100 oval starts with damage and limited tire sets. 2 stages. So they will have stages here. That's something important to know moving forward. But a couple, these guys, check out cleanracing.net. They have an absolute great rule book to try and keep them up to speed. As there you go. They're looking for main racing, so it's a good one.
Looks like we got some really close side-by-side racing between Nathan and other Nathan, the 91 and 92 trucks racing side-by-side, battling for 6th here.
Yeah, definitely. Why don't you talk about that battle for a little bit? That's something.
Absolutely. Looks like maybe as soon as it began, it will end. But the 91 certainly giving the 92 as much space as he needs to get that pass done, and just clears it. Nathan Rogue and the 91 gonna brake a little bit early.
Yeah, throw a blanket over these guys from 6th all the way back down to Greg Barnett. Kind of a pack developing here. You got to think if that's these guys battling up front, slowing everybody down, or if that's just the pace they want to be at. If you could, do a little bit of research for me in the Discord. See if we can find out when that stage break is going to be, and see if they're going to have to make it to that, or what the plan is on far as if we're going to have a green flag hit. Josh Lilly starting to catch lap traffic. That's going to be Frederick Garcia there in the cleanracing.net ringside Ford. Chevy, I'm sorry. Ooh, Cardinal sin there. As that's the breakaway. Josh Lilly and Josh Lilly, Joey Sires, Mike Van Hoosen keeping it together. And then 3.5 seconds back, we got Rhett Tucker. Evan Kinney is in 5th. Is a bidet spokesman. Interesting. Nathan Brown from Syracuse, New York, was able to dig his machine out of the snow and get it out here to New Hampshire. Nathan Rogue there in the 91. Slick in them tuck, great job. Kevin P. Becker. They're in the 85 machine, NationalGuard.com. Chevrolet. A lot of Chevrolets in the top 10 here. Is Justin Carey also repping that. The ODR 21. Then in 10th, we got Brian Sullivan. Carmel. Like it. Then Lane Osler in 11th. Hometown of Hamilton. Right there. Be making the pass on Brian Sullivan, making it look pretty easy there. Able to get up front, slide job, kind of slow down the outside line. We're going to see a lot of that in these passes. You're going to have to make the pass completed. You do not want to be stuck on the bottom line. We got Jeremy Mower, saw all that. Greg Barnett there in 13th, leading the charge of the Toyotas. Rye Lewis about a 1.5 seconds back there. Kingsland. Jeremy Morrison from Ontario up north in Canada. Luckily, he was able to get that truck moving. As he sends it a little high, that's going to let Steven Tuck get to the bottom of him. Josh Anthony gets to see all that in his rearview mirror as he gets into the wall a little bit. I think, take a look. Chris Smith having a little bit of an incident there. Let's see what happened. This is the 15 and the 14. And I think we're going to just see two. Oh, the 15 just... You can't turn and brake at the same time, folks. That is the... what happens a lot of times in these machines. Take a look at the 15 of Josh. Jamie LaRoque just tries to turn while braking, and he had that thing cranked all the way, but his traction, he lost traction. Once you hit that critical point, it's just going to go in the direction it was. So very unfortunate from Jamie. Looks like we got a couple takers down pit road. Evan Kinney, Nathan Brown, Kevin P. Becker, Jeremy Moore, and Rye Lewis coming around this time around. Josh Lilly and Joey Stiers. So, Dan, what'd you find out for me?
Looks like the stage break is going to be on lap 50. So, pitting here will cut that perfectly in half. I don't think for this first stage, anyone was going to be in danger of not making it on fuel. So I'm actually a little surprised that there are so many takers on pit road. But at the same time, tire fall off here is so bad. And I know a lot of trucks, they came in with the strategy to take it easy and save their stuff. And then, you know, the adrenaline of the green flag start hits.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you saw what kind of racing we had up front. It starts with Evan Kinney with the 6 machine. He had made some pretty good runs on those tires at the beginning of the run. So it probably is going to affect the way he does here as Jamie LaRoque decides he doesn't want to be stuck back there. He was involved in that incident. He's going to come down and get some more damage repaired. But now Josh Lilly has the button, as I believe the pace lights are still on, so we're going to go a couple more times around. So I think in the chat we do have a fan, but it's not for a driver. I think Emily's in there. Emily Miglin. Common last name, I suppose. It is a wide track, a lot more room to pass, but also a lot more room to cause a wreck. That is true. It'll be interesting to see how the track is utilized. Yes, ma'am.
Almost deceptive in a way.
Almost.
There is a lot of track in the corner, but not a lot of it is very useful. A lot of it is danger zone.
Well, and you know, it's funny you say that. What we'll see throughout, and what I've seen at New Hampshire with the drivers that are very skilled, that have been doing this for a long time, you can actually try different lines with different tire sets. We saw Josh Lilly, how he was kind of entering the turn a lot more aggressively and hitting that early apex. If you see what I'm talking about from the blimp here, you can hit that early apex and just let the car slide up into the midway turn and then accelerate down and cut that second turn in half. And you can get some really good runs that way if you have the space to do it. Now, what throws a wrench in that is if there's a car on your outside, you really can't throw it in there too hard, because then you get a Jamie LaRoque, Chris Smith situation. As I believe Chris is able to get that damage repaired. He's going to come out there and turn some more laps. Here we go, folks. Josh Lilly has the button. That pace car, that Ford, Chevy, Fusion, whatever iRacing is thrown out there, is going to come down, take that hard left turn. Josh Lilly, whenever he's ready. There he goes. Green flag is out. Gets a heck of a start. Not as good as Joey Sires did before, but he is able to get to that outside line. That's going to help him on this turn. Back farther back, Rhett Tucker and the 31 of Mike Van Housen, or Hooten, I'm sorry, taking the initiative, digging it in on the bottom. Double file all the way back. Everybody's door to door there. As we're going to see him start filing in. Don't look now, but Evan Kinney, the first one on our new tires there in the 6 machine, already doing kind of what I told him, pretty much going wherever he wants to go, but he's going to have to be careful. Those cars don't know how fast he is, as he is just carving them up here.
Yeah, very aggressive start. Not surprising considering how many drivers went in for tires. You'll notice our leaders, Josh Lilly, Joey Stiers, Rhett Tucker, and Mike Van Houten, I believe, all stayed out. So how long before the guys with the new tires start to filter their way to the front? And can they do it without whacking into somebody who is sliding around on old tires?
Well, tell us about that, Dan. Tell us about what the difficulty is in having those new tires when everybody else stayed out. That's what Evan Kinney's dealing with right now.
It's a strategy call for sure. You think you're going to go in, get the new tires, have a huge speed advantage over everybody else, but then you get out and you realize, oh, everybody else is slow.
Wrecking in the back.
They're sliding all over.
Sorry to get in with you there, but Nathan Brown going for a ride. Kind of what you were talking about. Nathan was one of those that pitted. We're going to see if that had anything to do with it.
Yeah, watching it again, it looks like he was feeling the pressure to work his way forward. Take advantage of that speed that he's going to have, knowing that there's only about 20 laps left of the stage, but can't clear the 38 on old tires before he gets loose and gets into the back. Sends it all around.
Yeah, before I started broadcasting, I always used to say, oh, he who blames netcode caused the accident. But that really did look like a ton of aero push on the 38. Of course, the 38 gets loose here. That's what initially causes it. 38 getting loose on that. It's hard to anticipate that if you're Nathan Brown. But he was able to kind of get that thing locked up. Hopefully not too much damage, but the real casualty there is going to be Rye Lewis, who is blowing that thing up.
Yeah, 20 of Rye Lewis, really nowhere to go. The 66 truck of Daniel Sykes also collected in it, but maybe more of a glancing blow. The nice thing is, as opposed to some of the larger tracks and some of the intermediates and super speedways, a little bit of aero damage, as long as you don't lose any engine power, not really going to hurt you here.
Definitely.
All of that is of no consolation to the 20 of Rye Lewis, though. He is blown up.
Yeah, Rye Lewis definitely going to have to take that thing to the hauler. Chris Smith able to get it back out there. Daniel Sykes still getting some work done there. Nathan Brown, Jeremy LaRoque with some damage. A lot of damaged machines here. As Evan Kinney has made up about 8 positions from when he went out.
Yeah, and that's the other side of the gamble. It didn't work out so well for Nathan Brown in the 92, but working out great for Evan Kinney in the 6. Especially with another yellow, another restart, and another chance to gain a couple of fast spots on fresh tires through the first 2 corners.
Definitely. So, guys, we're going to get started here shortly. We're going to go on board. And don't go anywhere. As here we go, Josh in front of Rhett Tucker, who we're on board of, is going to give those tires a little bit of a clean scrub there. We are underway here, lap 34 of 125 in the cleanracing.net. We've got a 15-lap shootout until the end of it, as Evan Kinney in the 6 machine really getting up there. As the 31 goes to the middle. Now we're 3 wide. The 91 on the outside. That's Nathan Rogue. That's going to sort itself out, but they haven't gotten the position yet. Justin Carey trying to hold off the hard-charging 91 on the bottom, as we are fighting for stage points now, folks, officially. Mike Van Houten there has the best view of it. Evan Kinney not far behind him, as that's what's going to happen. Justin Carey going to be stuck on the outside as the 31 tries to go for a 2-for-1. He's going to get it on the bottom side. Almost too much action to call, as we're still double file here.
Yeah, you can tell the 6 was thinking about sending it 3 wide on the 31, but thought better of it. Going to try his luck on the outside instead. Still should have a huge tire advantage against some of these other trucks, but unable to find the space to get the moves done.
Very true, as there we go. The 31 still trying to make that pass happen up there. as he is going to stick Evan Kinney with the high side. And now Evan Kinney, though, he has tires. He can make something happen here if he doesn't get pinched by Mike. He's going to try and arc this turn in and get a huge run off the bottom, but he can't. He's got nowhere to go with the 31 on his inside.
He is trapped, and you can tell. Oh, there he goes, making a move to the inside, but you can tell he's watching those top 3 trucks, top 3 trucks just pulling away steadily.
Oh, as he pushes too hard.
Van
Mike Van Houten, you are correct, gets turned there. Caution is out.
The rest of the field did really well to get on their brakes and not turn that little slide into a major incident.
As the 21 helping around the 31. And we're going to see that the more and more that we go here, the 21 just unable to get. You can't turn with these things and brake at the same time. There's just too much behind him. There's such a heavy frame.
Yeah, you have to imagine he thought he was going to be able to scrub off more speed and less time than it actually took. You get trapped running that middle line, and the 31 was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Definitely. Going to see it from the unique perspective of the 14 of Chris Smith, or Justin Carey, I'm sorry. He's got it turned, just trying to slow down. Nothing he can do. Gets into the 31. Everybody behind him going to get on the binders. As these trucks are starting to show the wear, Mike Van Houten, who had a pretty good start of this thing, started third, I believe. Now it's going to be...
Yeah, he was running a great race.
Going to be back there as we were seeing the mixture of tires and not. So, still no takers. Everybody's going to try and make it to that lap 50 mark to get those bonus points.
I think it's the way to go. I have to agree with that strategy. I don't think that pitting right now is the winning choice.
Yeah, for sure. Get those points. You know that a caution's coming up. If you can make it last, yeah, I agree. That's what you got to do.
Trying to do the math in my head. I think if you pit now, if you thought you could make it the rest of the way with just one more pit, because there are no more stages after lap 50, it would be defensible, but I think you would fall just short. I think you'd fall about 10 laps short if you pit now with just one more pit the rest of the way. They are running 50% fuel reserve, by the way.
Wow, so they're going to be cutting it close. At a 1 mile track, 50 laps. Yeah, they're going to be cutting it close. I bet they don't get more than 60, 70 laps out of these things.
It'll be interesting to see how the rest of the race goes for the 31. He didn't really sustain all that much damage from that wreck, it looked like. Now it's going to be a mental battle. How many spots can he gain back without wrecking his stuff? And when he catches back up to that truck that spun him, I don't want to say that spun him. That makes it sound on purpose, but it's, as a driver, it's hard to forget those things sometimes, you know?
Definitely.
All right, we're green flag racing again. Here we go. 48 of Josh Lilly gets not that great of a jump, honestly. Does not get to run his preferred line. Makes contact with the 23 of Joey Stiers, who then makes contact with another truck and has fallen 3 positions back already.
Yeah, definitely. As they are getting started here, Rhett Tucker. Yeah, Evan Kinney's just on a tear. He's going after that lead position, able to get by Rhett Tucker. Joey Stiers, like you said, not a great restart there. Everybody else battling behind him, as Joey's going to try and get 1 position back. As they are battling. Oh, Joey Stiers takes the little bit of an Indy line, trying to get out underneath the draft. Saves it down to the bottom. Luckily, nothing doing there. As here we're going to look at Evan Kinney and Josh Lilly. 7 laps to go. They're going to sort their battle out, but take a look at the Toyotas. The 31 of Mike Van Houten has gotten back with the Toyotas. He's trying to make his way back up. Remember, he was the one who just had that spin. Yeah, so he is on fresh tires. He's going to have to be pushing as hard as he can here. Try to get as many positions as possible.
Already back up to the top 10.
Yeah, that yellow Toyota is really working. Almost about to get by Brian Sullivan.
While we weren't looking, it looks like Evan Kinney in the 6 has breezed by Josh Lilly in the 48.
Let's see if we can find the replay for that. We have it up here.
Drama-free, looks like he made perfect use of that tire advantage.
Yeah, it looks like Josh Lilly just didn't want to battle him there. And I do agree with it. You've got about 2.5 seconds back as Mike Van Houten takes the 61, now stuck behind the 24 of Jeremy Moore. As Jeremy gets on the apron, that's going to slow down to 31, but he is already back up to 6. Almost looking at a top 5 here as he's trying to work on the tires of Jeremy Moore. And everybody take notes, because back when you have to decide whether you're going to short pit or not, this is going to come into play, knowing how quickly Mike Van Houten is running through this field.
Always a little bit easier to go for broke when you know you're going to be able to put on some 4 fresh boys. Oh, spoke too soon though. Looks like he gets loose, pushing a little too hard in the grass. No caution. He doesn't take anyone with him. Now he's in the tires. Oh, it goes from bad to worse for Mike Van Houten.
Very unfortunate. You guys watched all that. We're not going to go back over it. But now Lane Holzer trying to hold off Nathan Rogue. They're on his outside. Able to do so. Evan Kinney hasn't shook Josh Lilly just yet. The lap time's very similar. Lilly even running a little bit faster, as he only has about a lap to make this happen if he was going to try something. As Jeremy Moore gets past Joey Stiers, as he has got to stop the bleeding there in 5th. Front, I did see some smoke, but that must have been somebody in the pits. Oh, as we got a little bit of contact there for 7th, as Evan Kinney's going to come across the line at lap 50. A lot of people do these stage breaks a little bit different. We're going to see where he has scored. Josh Tilley not too far behind him. Rhett Tucker there in 3rd. Jeremy Moore in 4th. Joey Stiers in 5th. They might let him go to the completion here, as that is all but settled out. We're going to take a look at Steve Tuck and Craig Barnett. There we go. Caution is out. Give it to Evan Kinney. That's going to be your stage break, folks. Josh Lilly in 2nd. Rhett Tucker, Jeremy Moore, and Joey Stiers. the ones cleaning it in.
That was an impressive last couple of laps from Josh Lilly, really holding pace with the 6 of Evan Kinney on tires that are 27 laps older.
Yeah, definitely. And here's the thing about this for Joey Styres, why he was battling so hard to stay in his position as that yellow flag comes out, as we're going to take a look here, to keep the 61 behind him, is those stage points. This isn't NASCAR where the top 10 get stage points. Only the top 5 get those points. So Evan Kinney got 5 points, Josh Lilly 2, Rhett Tucker 3, and Joey Styres there gets 5 points. And I think Lati Dati, everybody's going to come down pit road once they have the opportunity here in the CleanRacing.net Truck Series, as we will be right back, guys. Stick around.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. We are 2x2, ready to get back underway for Stage 2, the final stage. We have 75 laps, 70 now, of racing to bring us to the end. We expect, if there's no more yellows, trucks will have to figure out one more green flag race, and we are off. Evan Kinney takes the green. Kevin Becker right behind him. The 99 of Rhett Tucker making a move for position on both P1 and P2. Looks like Rhett Tucker is going to go from third to first all in one corner.
Yeah, take note there, though. Evan Kinney is on old tires on that outside line. So he's going to really slow things up here as these guys are trying to get back into the swing of things. He's just going to go high and stay out of everybody's way. I say that right as the 23 gets by on a sheet of paper on his outside. Jeremy Moore now going to get past Evan Kinney. Evan Kinney's got to figure out what he's going to do to stop the bleeding here. Got to be thinking about a short pit situation as himself and Kevin P. Becker back there in 8th did not come down. They were the only ones in the field that are have a shot at this thing that did not come down to pit at the stage break. And I think that's going to haunt them here.
Yeah, I can tell what they were probably thinking. He was probably thinking, well, I was that much faster than Josh on, or sorry, other way around. Josh was still about as fast as me on his 25-lap old tires. But not everyone is Josh Lilly, multiple-time winner at this track. I think the 6 is feeling some regret.
Definitely, and we don't know. Of course, they don't pay me to strategize. They pay me to talk about it. So, but I got to think if I'm in that position, if I'm running first, and I already know everybody else is coming in, might as well come down and get some fresh Goodyears on that machine. I don't know what kind of tire sets we're looking at, but you got to think that he knows what he's doing. He's probably going to hang out there around 6th through 9th. I think that's going to be a sweet spot with the way his times are running. And come in for a short bit. But he's just got to hope that Rhett Tucker, Joey Stires, and Josh Lilly do not get too far away from him.
Yeah, that's always the danger. You really want to see them fight side by side, but it looks like the 99, 23, and 48 have all kind of gotten single file here. 48 of Josh Lilly thinks about a lunge, but backs off. I think they're going to put in a couple of fast laps here and really say goodbye to the rest of the field. It's going to take a lot to see anyone come back at them.
Yeah,
but anything could happen with a yellow.
Definitely. We saw the patience that Josh Lilly had the last run. Did not make a pass until about lap 24. So he's very patient. Knows he's going to let the truck in front of him do the work. We got a pretty big battle back for 10th. Steven Tuck has Kevin Becker and Lane Hosler in his rearview mirror. Lane is just going to send it in on the 85. Who had a good qualifying round, but has not really shown up here for the race. He's kind of just playing things safe. As you saw what happened to Nathan Brown, Mike Van Houten, all those guys who qualified around him, not doing as well.
Great move by the 85 of Kevin Becker, in my opinion. Happy to just let him go and do his thing and save his tires and come back at him later.
Definitely. New Hampshire, you got to think about it. That's my thing today, I guess. But New Hampshire, it's very hard to predict when this thing's going to go green. You got to plan for calamity. You got to plan for avoidance. You don't want to spend your time battling somebody and then come up on an accident or cause an accident, especially with such stiff penalties here like CamryRacing.net Truck Series has for those issues. As now he's got another group pass him, Jeremy Morrison and Justin Carey on his outside.
Up front, it looks like we got the 23 of Joey Stires putting a move on 99 of Rhett Tucker for the lead. Can he make it stick?
That's the question. Josh Lilly has a great view of this side-by-side battle out his front windshield. The 23 OSF Healthcare machine against the Ford of Rhett Tucker. They're going to stay side by side. This is exactly what Josh Lilly wants to see. He wants them to battle, stay side by side, keep having your issues. I'm just going to hang back and save my tires.
100%. I'm ecstatic if I'm Josh Lilly here. Unless one of these two trucks gets into the other and he gets collected. Always a danger.
Definitely. So Dan, Emily is asking in the chat, how many tire sets do these guys have? Were you able to find that?
No.
Okay. Long story short, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll look for you, Emily. I'm sure he'll holler to the living room and let you know once he finds out.
Four tire sets, including the ones you start with.
Oh, very puzzling then, even more so, that Evan Kinney decided not to come down pit road as he had an extra set there.
Yeah, it looks like
And
he'll be
won.
donating one set to charity.
Yeah, this is going to give him the opportunity, if we have a late caution, to come down for tires and show him out. But that's a gambler's move. I don't dislike it, though. I'm a gambler myself. As Rhett Tucker holds off Joey Styres, and now on the outside, Josh Lilly. Or Josh Lilly going on the inside there in the 48 machine. As guys, I do want to remind you, we are live on Facebook, YouTube. What that means is we can see your chat. So holler at us, let us know who your driver is, who you're cheering on. Be sure and like and subscribe to the channel as well so you don't miss any action. We've got action 7 nights of the week here on Esports Broadcasting Network, a subsidiary of Sim Racing Network. Sometimes 2 in a row, like right now, over on our other YouTube, which is this YouTube, it's just live, is the Extreme ARCA series. So once this race is finished here, you can go take a look at them doing their championship round 2 there at the Charlotte Roval. So as we keep an eye on that, if you got 2 windows open, more power to you. Some really good racing going on over there.
All right. It looks like up front, the 99 of Rhett Tucker is getting a little bit of distance. The 48 no longer happy to just sit by and watch them race side by side. He's putting the move on the 23 of Joey Styres. See if he can make it stick. The 99 of Rhett Tucker, however, not going to get that far out in front before he has to start dealing with the lapped traffic. A little bit of the X factor that you start to see on these longer green flag runs. They clear the 94 safely on the inside. The 14 choosing to take the outside to get lapped. They are ducking and weaving like they're riding a obstacle course out here. The 23 of Joey Styres, it looks like, is feeling the effects of that side-by-side race, and he is falling off hard from this battle for the lead, becoming a 2-man race up front between the 48 of Josh Lilly and the 99 of Rhett Tucker. The 48 making a move to the inside, turning in nice and early. Not going to get it done here, but still sending it to the inside, not letting the 99 just fall back into line.
And what's that doing to the 99's tires as it's holding out? We talk about the inside line getting stuck. What is that outside line? What's that doing to you as you have to go high here without any banking?
Every time you run it outside, you are carrying a little bit more speed, and you are technically driving a longer distance on the outside of the corner versus the inside. All of that over lap after lap after lap means more tire wear and slower laps.
Definitely.
And just like that, it does look like he's allowed the 48 to take that lead. So we see Josh Lilly return to the lead, already putting about 3/10 between him and Rhett.
We got a battle for 7 heating up here.
Yep, it looks like Greg Barnett in the 38 truck getting a great run into that corner, being chased by the 4 of Brian Sullivan, also making their way through the lap traffic. Getting a little too close for comfort as he passes the 14, almost as if he's trying to use him as a pick, like you would in a basketball play. It'll be really interesting to see as the race goes on how trucks are able to use the lapped traffic to their advantage. trying to pass at more opportune times and forcing their rival to pass at a less opportune time, maybe change their preferred line through a corner and just lose another tenth or two, maybe use a little bit of tire that they didn't have to. A lot of strategy with the lap traffic at a short track, or not quite a short track, but definitely drives like a short track at New Hampshire.
Yes, sir, that it does, as Joey Styres getting passed on the inside there by, or Red Tucker, I'm sorry, passing Joey Styres. That pass is not completed, though. He was not clear. These trucks are going hammer and tongs at it. Brian Steele, Lane Holzer in 7th. That is a battle in of itself. Then we got Justin Carey trying to get Steven Tuck, as these trucks are all over the place. Like you said, yeah, using that kind of that basketball pick. He's got that fist in the air saying, hey, I'm coming. Got to get by him at the opportune moment. Especially with the turns, the radius is as tight as it is here. There's only about 2 or 3 spots where you can really clear a car that's much slower. We saw that when Evan Kinney was trying to work by everybody. Those picks are definitely going to help you, as Red Tucker and Joey Styres going at it. Yeah.
Looks like the lap truck, the number 14 of Chris M. Smith, coming into the pits, taking some tires, maybe working an undercut strategy. Make me thinking he can get a lap back if a caution comes out. Be interesting to see how that turns out. Languishing down there, a lap down in P19. Let's see how that works out.
Yeah, Chris has not had a great run so far. This is going to be his fourth time down pit road, and he is spending a ton of time down there. Possibly, like you said, getting a little bit of damage fixed to keep him up to speed, but that's not going to hold back any of these other guys from getting past him, as Craig Barnett, Brian Sullivan, they've got Lane Holsler.
Yeah, right in their sights. The 4 isn't making much ground on the 38 in front of him, but the 2 of them together making up a lot of ground on the 61 of Lane Hosler in that 6th place spot.
Definitely want to remind everybody we are brought to you by Ringside Report Network. They are a wrestling and MMA broadcaster. Like to go over all the things that happen in the world of combat sports, such as WWE, AEW, and UFC, at least 4 nights a week. RingsideReport.net is the place for you if you are a wrestling or MMA fan. Which we just had the Royal Rumble, I believe is what it was. Ronda Rousey coming back to the WWE.
Never know what's going to happen. Looks like the 6 coming down pit road. Is he going to try for an early pit undercut, or has his tires just had enough?
Yeah, it could be both, right? The 6 machine, Evan Kinney, we talked about him, said his name a lot. He was that guy that stayed out last time, so he's going to come down pit road here. He's going to have a set in his back pocket, but the downside of that is everybody else is as well. And is Josh Lilly going to make his way past him? And this gap has widened out. Josh Lilly has a 2.5 second gap over Rhett Tucker, who has a 3 second gap back to Jeremy Mower. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. They're in 4th place, who is our biggest mover. He's up 10 positions from the start. Started in 14th there. Then we got Nathan Rogue, Lane Holsler back there in 6th. Brian Sullivan is trying to hold off Craig Barnett there in 8th. Justin Carey, Steve Tuck, rounding out your top 10. We got Jeremy Morrison, Mike Van Houten, Dustin Hall, as Mike Van Houten decided to come down pit road.
This is where we're going to start to see those strategy decisions come into play. I'm very interested to see how these early stoppers are going to finish the race.
Definitely. Well, you're going to have your chance to watch Evan Kinney in the 16th position make his way through. Because once he gets through, we'll show you what his lap time is, because this is going to be his out lap. And he's already blowing by the 21, who is Justin Carey there in 9th position. So he's got that position back, but...
Well, unfortunately for Evan, he's going to have to go all the way around and pass him a second time if he wants that 9th spot.
Definitely. Well, he came in at lap 30 the first time, so we know that they're only going to have about 50 to 60 laps of fuel. So everybody else should come down pit road, and then if Evan has a big enough gap, because there he goes, he got a 31.79, 31.10, which is a second faster than Josh Lilly. So you got to think, if he's able to stay out here for 30 laps, he has a spot back. At least. Once these guys come in, he'll have a huge lead, and he can decide to do it again.
Certainly doable.
But
making
again,
short work of the 38 and the 4, and let's see, who's he got to pass to get his lap back?
Josh Lilly, who is about 15 seconds up the road, entering turn 1 and 2. So let's go to our blimp and see here. Here we go. Josh Lilly entering turn 4, and then right on the opposite side of the track is Evan Kinney there coming out of 4. So quite a ways to go, but again, they're going to have to come to... Josh Lilly's going to have to come down pit road at some point. And with the gap he has, you got to think if anybody in the top 5 comes down, he's coming down the next lap just to make sure he doesn't get undercut.
Yeah, definitely not the position where you want to overthink it.
Yeah, I'm a gambler, like I said. So Evan Kinney, what he's doing is right up my alley. I'm not going to beat the 2-time Josh Lilly. This is his home track. He's got 2 wins here. Going for a 3rd. I'm not going to beat him by speed or skill. Where I'm going to beat Josh Lilly is down in pit road, and that's what Evan Kinney's thinking about if this thing goes green. So
it's true. High risk, high reward.
I like it. I like the strategy. You got to do what you got to do here.
Meanwhile, the 6 clears the 16, making his slow ascent back to the lead lap. Every single car in front of him still yet to pit.
So you wouldn't guess what the average number of yellows is here.
I'm going to take a shot at it anyway. I think 3? This doesn't seem like a hugely yellow race. Didn't make sense, but I think you all know what I mean.
No, you're good. About 2. 2 or 3 is where it's at. They had 5 yellows the first time they came here in Season 2. Now, the second time, Season 5, when Josh Lilly won his first race here, they had 0 yellows. And then they had 0 yellows the second time Josh Lilly won in Season 7.
And you said I wouldn't guess. That said, it averages out to about 2 or 3, but we're actually seeing high variance there. 1 race with 5, 1 race with 0. Sure, it averages out to 2.5 or 3, but those are 2 very different races.
Definitely. So we do have, reading up on here, you got to make sure these guys, if you want a place to learn how to race clean, because I'll finish that thought later. Josh Lilly just coming out of pit road. Brian Sullivan, Nathan Rogue, Dustin Harrimal, John Anthony, and Jamie LaRoque. Now Joey Steyer is going to have the effective lead. He's going to have to push later on if he wants to make this thing happen.
Yeah, a whole lot of trucks deciding to make their move, and you have to imagine being lap 92 out of 125. That's it. They're going to go the rest of the way and see how the chips fall.
Yeah, and as it fell right now, Josh Lilly is out in front of Evan Kinney. So that strategy did not pay off as much as it needed to. But Evan is going to have second place once everything shuffles out. As Rhett Tucker actually short pit Josh by 3 laps. So it's going to be 3rd. But right now, Joey Steyers has it. Lane Hosier there in second, getting passed by some lap traffic. You don't really say that very often. Greg Barnett there in third, Justin Carey in fourth, and Stephen Tuck in fifth, though you have not pitted yet. Everybody else has came down pit road, with Josh Kelly putting down his fastest lap of the race at 30 point. We're going to see it here. It should be a 30.6 once it gets around. As this is going to be your battle. Him and Rhett Tucker battling for the effective race lead unless Joey Stires can save enough fuel to get 75 laps out of this machine.
Honestly, even if they could, they're running almost 3 seconds slower a lap at this point. Gotta be afraid that maybe they've stayed out too long.
Yeah.
Once again, big risk, big reward type strategy. If a yellow comes out and they're able to pit under caution, that would be a huge advantage. But this is not the type of track where you really can count on that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely not. And like you said, at this point, you've been short pit by about 15 laps. Almost probably 6 laps is a lot closer. But yeah, your best bet. Stay out as long as you can and hope that something happens with all the disparity of speed that we've got going out right now. As Jeremy Moore battling for position with Nathan Rogue. 24 of the 91 machine battling out for 9th. Again, folks, we are live here on Esports Broadcasting Network. We appreciate the heck out of you joining us here today. If you would like to shout out who you're here watching, shout out your driver in the chat. We can make that happen where you see more of their truck. We try to keep things interesting by moving around the field. Sometimes that is harder than other times. But if you give us a shout out, we will definitely keep an eye on those drivers. As Daniel Sykes having issues. I don't even see that name. There we go. Caution is out. Daniel Sykes, a lap truck parked down the backstretch. Don't know what happened with him. Let's take a look. I don't know if that was a disconnection or what. He last came down pit road on lap 85, so I know he didn't run out of fuel.
Yeah, listening to the radio chatter, claiming that his engine went. Maybe accidental money shift in one of the corners there? Yeah, there it is. You can watch that plume of smoke come out the back of the 99 or the 66 truck of Daniel Sykes. Parks it on the back stretch to force the caution out. Some of the other drivers not so happy.
That was so odd. Jeremy Sykes, that was not a money shift. That was not nefarious by any means. I think he was dealing with some issues earlier on. So nothing doing there. As you can take a look, we got a pretty good onboard of that.
Maybe just some damage from earlier in the race. For those who aren't familiar with driving at New Hampshire, most of the time in a NASCAR race, you're not watching the drivers go through the gears at all, except on the restarts. But especially when you get your tires nice and low, less grip, to get a good run out of corners 2 and 4, you are shifting down to third in these trucks. And if you've got a damaged truck, that's a lot of stress on that motor.
Yeah, and especially the trucks, especially the NASCAR trucks here, are so notorious for any front-end damage at all. And there's a reason for it, but any front-end damage at all is going to affect that radiator, and it can very easily overheat the engine and cause some damage there. And that's what we saw. As we were on board, there was none of the telltale signs of a blowing up that engine to avoid inspection. He was for sure just very odd time for it to happen. Sometimes it does, but Joey Styres is sure thinking that that was a good stroke of luck for him. He is able to salvage back to 5th positions, and he's got the freshest tires in the top 5.
Oh, yeah, perhaps a little bit of broadcaster's curse there, but Joey Styres with the swing and a home run with that gamble of staying out, hoping for the caution that I was sure wouldn't come, and then there it is.
Yeah, that was the broadcaster's blessing, is what that was.
Fair enough. Yeah, if you're the 23 truck, definitely blessing more so than a curse.
We don't want to cast a bad light on all of us broadcasters. You know, everyone always blames us, like Bruno. We don't make bad things happen; they just happen, and we feel those things, and it hurts. Think a broadcaster. Thanks for working with me and saving me on that one, Dan. As we go back here, Josh Lilly in first, Red Tucker in second, Nathan Rowe going to be in third, Jeremy Moore in fourth. I don't think Dan has learned how to... We got banter, man. We got a banter back and forth.
What you were listening to was the sound of me trying to do math in my head.
Oh, well, it was very quiet.
Well, thankfully with no camera on me, you couldn't see the furrowed brow and the steam coming out of my ears.
There we go. Well, what math are we looking at?
I'm just trying to figure out exactly how much of an advantage per lap Joey Styres was going to have on the 4 trucks in front of him. It's not going to be a huge one. He's only got about 10 lap fresher tires, but it is an advantage nonetheless.
Definitely. He's going to be starting on the inside as well, which is not as helpful as you would think. Usually if you have fresher tires, you want to start on that outside line because you can take advantage of the line that everybody else is not using. But here we go. Josh Lilly has it. He's going to take it. Gets out to a good jump. Exactly what you want to do here at a short-ish track as we see Josh Moore dive all the way to the bottom. Look at the 23 of Joey Styres. Huge restart by the 23. Throws it in there. Gets a 2-for-1 special. Taking full advantage of the inside as he now has a angry truck on his outside. Nathan Rogue did not like that. Lane Hostler there came down with him, followed him through. Jeremy Moore in the 24 machine. Then we got Evan Kidney, who has used his last set of tires. Everybody else has at least one left.
That was definitely time to go for it, for sure.
Let's take a look at that restart one more time that Joey Styres just did.
And as we're looking for the pass, he puts a move already on the 99 to take second place, and around goes, who is that? Was that the 10?
Hostler?
The 61, yeah, Lane Hostler spins off the track, no yellow. He's not on track, and that's going to be a killer for his race.
Yes, we'll take a look back at that, but we did see in that restart where Joey Styres goes all out onto the apron, so let's take a look. After Lane Hostler was already around. On his own. Lane Hostler on his own goes around. Get a better angle of that.
Fresh tires on this track on a restart, they are slick. They're fast, but they are slick, and the back end of these trucks comes around like nothing with almost no weight over those rear wheels.
Oh, actually. Let's take one more look. It looked like that truck was unsettled earlier on entering the turn. Could be wrong, but let's one more look, then we'll go by. Again, guys, there's no cautions. We are missing racing. I do apologize. Yeah, that was all on his own. Maybe a little bit of air got taken off the rear spoiler there for just an instant. Enough to unsettle that car. But here's the battle. Josh Lilly and Joey Styres there, 1 and 2. We've said that before. These guys started 2 and 1 respectively. Rhett Tucker back there in third. Evan Kinney trying to take full advantage with his tires. As he's trying not to get pitched by the 21, he is going to get to the inside of Rhett Tucker, looking for a third place finish. 18 laps to go.
Yeah, the 6 up there fighting in the top 5, but you can see his tires falling off just a little bit more than the others.
Yeah, definitely is. Oh, there we go. Joey Stires looking to the inside. Gonna try and take away the three-peat from Josh Lilly. Josh has a lot of time for that to even out, though. Only 9 laps separate these guys and their tire strategy. As Josh Lilly kind of pushing a little bit, going to the inside. That is what he doesn't want to do. He cannot do anything that's going to make those tires get any warmer.
Wow,
So he gets
that's a
very
lap
shape.
I'm going to want to watch again. Josh Lilly practically drifting around that corner. I don't know how he collected it all back up.
There we go. Just throws it down in there. Gets loose. Hits the apron with the save. Wheeling and dealing. You are correct there.
Almost making it look like it was on purpose.
Almost, but he's back in second. Got about a 0.3 second gap up to first. Gonna have to regroup and try again. He's got 16 laps to do it, but back in the back, we got a gaggle of here of a lot of different strategies. Mike Van Houten, we saw him have his issue earlier. He's coming back with a vengeance. Last came in at lap 100. Oh, gets hard into Steven Tuck. Pushes Steven Tuck into the high line, into the wall there. Nothing doing, no caution yet again. The officials really letting him race it out. Hopefully Van Houten didn't have too much damage on the front right from that.
It's looking pretty thrashed, but as long as it's just cosmetic, he should be all right. Hard to tell watching it if the 31 missed the corner or if the 10 just wanted to turn in too soon like the 31 wasn't there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of mixture of both, as this is racing with different lines here. So you can't anticipate what somebody else is going to do. They may be trying something else, that new line, so we'll let the officials sort that one out. As Rhett Tucker in the 99 machine, we've seen him up front before. Right now, currently sitting in 6th position. He's got Nathan Rogue. It doesn't look like that's holding Mike Van Houten back too much. Try and follow the 91 through the 99 on the inside with 13 laps to go here in the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Oh, there we go. Gives the Krone horn to the 99. Huge issue. The 99 goes to space. As Nathan Rogue was slowing down for it, Mike Van Houten, the green flag is still out. Unbelievable, as Jeremy Moore has a blown engine. I am absolutely astonished that this thing is still going. Rhett Tucker went into outer space, it seems like.
Fired right out of a cannon.
As the 91 gets into the 99, then tries to slow it down. 31 gets loose, and then there you go, folks. Very unfortunate for the 99, as he's going to be floating around like a Tesla, passing Mars here pretty soon.
I'm astonished. After all that, 31 of Mike Van Houten holding 8th place.
Yeah, it did spin. Apparently everybody else behind him kind of checked up for that, expecting a caution. There was not a caution. iRacing kind of probably focused on what in the heck was going on with the timing and scoring of Rhett Tucker. No caution there with 11 laps to go. Joey Stires going to be in first place. He's got about a second on Josh Lilly.
He's definitely pulling away. I gotta say, I was really expecting the 48 of Josh Lilly to hold tight to the back of the 23 and make a move, but maybe that little bit of a tire advantage was all he needed, or maybe 23 himself was just holding something back for these last 9 or 10 laps.
You can see Josh Lilly giving everything he can to that.
Meanwhile, the 6 of Evan Kinney has a nice big gap back to Justin Carey in 4th. His strategy appears to be paying off as well.
Yeah, and looking at lap times, he's running just as close as Josh Lilly right there with each other. Doesn't look like there's going to be too much lap traffic they're going to have to worry about. And as we talked about earlier, they are really close. A lot of places to go here, about 5 lanes in this New Hampshire Speedway. You can get around lap traffic pretty easily. So we got Joey Styres here with 9 laps to go as it just ticked over to 8. Josh Lilly in second. Evan Kinney in third. Justin Carey sitting in fourth. Greg Barrett in fifth. Steven Tuck in sixth. Brian Sullivan seventh. Mike Van Houten in eighth. Lane Hostler in ninth. And Nathan Rowe in 10th position. Kevin P. Becker is going to be in 11th. Joe Anthony, a lap down, going to be in 12th. 13th going to be Dustin Hamill, as he is going to get by the 15 of Jamie LaRoque. We got Frederick Garcia in the 94 machine, letting the faster traffic go by as he has just been chugging along here. Started last, currently in 15th position. Chris Smith there in 16th. Jeremy Moore inside. Brett Tucker, they have gotten that thing down from orbit. He is in the pits. Daniel Sykes in 19th. Jeremy Morrison 20th. And everybody else has retired. Nathan Brown, Ry Lewis, and Dave Shatford.
Some bad luck there for Josh Lilly with the lap traffic. The 94, yeah, the 94 truck kind of parking it on the inside, forcing Josh Lilly to go to the outside, a line that he has not favored most of the race.
Definitely, as we take a look back at Mike Van Houten trying to get past Brian Sullivan again, and then Lane Holster just going to throw it in behind him. These guys throwing punches left and right to try and sort out this 7th position. The first race of the season, you got to set the tone here for what your points are going to be later on. You don't want to be in 20th position there, staring at that all week going into next.
Yeah, just about 3 wide for a moment there. They've settled in at this point with the 31 in front, retaining his 8th position, but it seems like all race, if you want to see the action, just keep the camera pointed at the 31 of Mike Van Houten.
Definitely.
And as I say that, he actually gained a spot to go up to 7th.
Yeah, qualified 3rd, so we know he has speed here. Has one of the fastest laps on the track in the 30s. Only 3 trucks have been in that 30 mark. 4, I'm sorry. Rhett Tucker, who's unfortunately out of it. Joey Styres and Josh Lilly, the other 2. So huge caliber of driver that have gotten sub 30, and he is in that. So that speed. With 4 laps to go, Joey Styre is going to take it to 3.
Yeah, once again, don't want to jinx him, but what an impressive strategy call from the 23. The guts it takes to make that decision and stick with it. I've personally been in that position a couple of times and second-guessed myself into the pits.
Yeah, but Josh Lilly is still fighting, driving the right rear tire off of that car as you see him go under the apron consistently in turn 2. Getting squirrely. He's going to let Evan Kinney get up to him if he's not careful and take away a 2nd position. Let's take a look at his exit here. Just absolutely wide open.
Yeah, once again, breaking him loose a little bit of desperation in his driving that we haven't seen all race. The whole race up to this point, sort of the vision of the calm, cool, and collected driver. And all of that out the window thanks to a freak yellow.
And there we go. Oh boy. White flag is in the air. Barry's waving it. Joey Styres got about a 1.5 gap on Josh Lilly. Just got to hit the cruise controls.
Mike Van Houten 31 around on the back of the track.
He's parked there. No yellow. Obviously, it's the last lap, but very unfortunate for Mike Van Houten. Josh Lilly going to come in 2nd as he is resigned to take the 2nd position. Joe Styres takes the checkered flag, winning the opener of Season 10 here at the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Josh Lilly behind him. Evan Kinney there in 3rd. Justin Carey 4th. And Greg Barnett going to be coming across the line in 5th. What a showing by Joey Styres.
Amazing race. And the top 3, Joey Styres, Josh Lilly, Evan Kinney, all driving on radically different strategies. Looks like there was no one winning way to go this time around.
No, not at Oh, so there he goes. He's going to burn that down. You guys take a look at that. We'll be right back. All right, we've got our race winner, Joey Stiers, taking home the inaugural race of the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Joey, tell us about the strategy and the racing there at the end.
Honestly, I was really hoping there wasn't going to be a caution. I was going to try to make it on fuel the rest of the way, and we got that caution with about 20 to 25 to go, and I was like, well, shoot, everybody's got like 8 to 15 lap fresher tires than us. We better pit, and we made that decision and drove up. Was real aggressive on that last restart to try and get up to at least thirds or as close to second as I could before the turn 4. And yeah, we just ended up racing Josh real hard for the win there and able to hold him off. He was the class of the field all day long, and he was just really good on the long run, and I didn't have anything for him throughout the start of that race.
Yeah, definitely. Watching that restart right now, absolutely masterfully done. You waited until the line got where you needed to be, and then a little bit of luck there that the 91 decided to stay high. But yeah. Were you thinking we were going to get another caution, or was that your play that you needed to win the race?
After that first caution there with about 30 to go, I was like, I didn't want to see another one. I wanted me, because I knew I had the fresher tires. I just wanted to build the lead and kind of check out from everyone. And at the end there, I was really praying there wasn't going to be a caution. I saw a lot of smoke on the track, so I know people were wrecking, getting to the wall, whatever, but I was just praying there wasn't going to be another caution.
Yeah, well, if you get a chance, watch a replay. Rhett Tucker went to the moon on an absolute freak incident that did not bring out a caution, but you earned the win, Joey. It was an absolutely fantastic running there at the latter half with the strategy. Tell us who you got on the car, who you want to shout out today.
Shout out to my Rev Racing teammates. Ryan Twynham, he's not here tonight. He's got other prior opportunities, so we're thinking about him. We miss him here at the track. And my sponsors, Chevy and OSF Healthcare, that's where I work. And yeah, you guys up in the broadcast booth, you guys do an awesome job, and I love going back and watching the broadcast.
Well, we appreciate it, Joey. And take it easy. Hopefully, sir, we will be talking to you next week.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And I want to give a quick shout out to Fred. So much work goes into putting this league together, and he just does a phenomenal job, and we couldn't be more happy and proud to be in this league.
You know, Joey, I'll add something to that. I'm looking through your guys' website and the information that's on here. I almost touched on it earlier in the race. If you guys have a chance, and you want to join a league that gives you all the tools you need to succeed, check out cleanracing.net. But yeah, definitely shout out to him. And again, man, good luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you again.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
As well. All right, next we got in Josh Lilly, unable to complete the hat trick, but I think one-on-one, man, absolutely great showing.
Yeah, thanks. Unfortunately, the strategy just didn't fall our way, but I feel like we had great long-run speed, as Joey touched, and unfortunately, things didn't work out.
Definitely. So we saw in the last little bit there, last couple laps, once Joey got in front of you, hard pushing. Was that a little bit of frustration the way the race rolled out, or just trying your hardest to get up to that back bumper to do something?
That was me just trying my hardest. I tried everything I could. I was burning up the right rear tire a lot, and he just ended up pulling away.
Definitely, but still a good showing. Finished in second place here at the first running of CleanRacing.net Truck Series. What track are you most looking forward to try and get that win back?
Coda.
Ooh.
Definitely Coda. Road races, I have a 100% win rate in, and hoping to continue that later this season.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to bring a ringer in for you, Josh Lilly. I'll challenge you. Do a back to front challenge. But Josh, man, it really was a great show, and I'd love to see what you can do. Is the way you were arcing into those turns, I'm sure at the road courses you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So tell us who you got on the car, who you want to shout out tonight.
I'd like to shout out my Brownie Racing teammates, Kevin, Evan, and Nate, and also Fred for making this league and running it really well.
Definitely. Well, all right. That's all I've got for you guys. I appreciate you both being in the booth. And Josh, hopefully I'll talk to you next week after Chicagoland.
I appreciate that.
All right, guys. That is going to just about do it for us. I believe that we're unable to talk to Evan Kinney. He's not in our chat, but that is all right, folks. We'll get with him next week. So, going to go ahead and go over the results here for you. We have Joey Stiers in first, Josh Lilly finishing second, Evan Kinney in third, Justin Carey in fourth, Craig Barnett finishing in fifth position, Steven Tuck in second, Lane Holsler in seventh, Brian Sullivan in eighth, Steven Tuck in sixth, Steven Tuck second. Here we go. Nathan Rogue finishing ninth, Mike Van Houten in 10th, Kevin P. Becker in 11th, John Anthony in 12th, Dustin Harrell in 13th, Jamie LaRoque in 14th, Fred Garcia there in 15th, Chris Smith 16th, Jeremy Moore 17th, Rhett Tucker finishing 18th, 19th, Daniel Sykes, and Jeremy Morsing finishing 20th. Nathan Brown, Ryan Lewis, and Dave Shatford 21st through 24th, unable to be able to finish out that race. Very unfortunate for them. But so Dan, tell me about were you expecting that cleaner race from New Hampshire?
I was. New Hampshire is one of those tracks where the speeds come down so much as the tires wear that you don't see a lot of bumping and banging, especially with how wide the corners are. Oftentimes, if the guy inside of you misses the corner, you've got plenty of room before you get into the wall. I think I was most impressed by how well executed we saw. So many different strategies, especially I want to call out Evan Kinney in the sixth. Just because I so publicly doubted you, man. Sorry. It looks like the undercut was absolutely viable here.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely worked with that last caution. So, folks, we do want to send you off here. We appreciate the heck out of you for joining us here in this showing of the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Definitely lived up to its name, and with their sponsors, Ringside Report, we appreciate them as well. So, guys, again, thanks for checking us out, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week. Bye, everybody.